Well, that's it. No more snow, I'm soaked, and now we'll have to go to school tomorrow.
Here, have some more marshmallows.
It seems like it would be. Try to accept that as a reason to stop being mad at the universe. Heck, it'll have to do. Hey, Ozzy. You look stressed.
No, I don't.
You know what would really calm you down? Acupuncture.
Just ignore them, son. They'll stop if they don't get the reaction they want.
No offense, but you also thought that would work on the playground. Amateur acupuncture?
It's an ancient Eastern medical practice.
You know, I'm kind of skeptical about this.
Oh, its benefits are well documented. Still, science has yet to really figure out why pointy metal things strategically inserted into the skin should have the effect they do. So, for once, my absolute ignorance shouldn't be a liability.
I'm trying hard to come up with a way to escape quickly without compromising my zen-like exterior.
Acupuncture. That certainly takes me back.
Does it?
Oh, yes. I did once require medical attention overseas. I contracted a nasty case of the hiccups outside Beijing. Indulge a silly old bugger for old time's sake, Millicent?
Well, I suppose.
Thanks, Dad.
Just doing my job.
Darn it, these tacks keep breaking. You know, I don't think the V-chip in any way blocks out what's really obscene.
Hey, Fairy. Noticed all the new advertising all around the school?
Well,
And you're still in your generic clothes and junk. Man. You're more out of it than ever. I guess I'll just have to do something about it, pansy.
10 years old and I already feel like a victim of corporate downsizing.
Hello, Principal? Yes, this is Ozymandias Llewellyn's father. I understand you've taken on an influx of advertising placed around the school. Are you sure that's wise? Well, profitable of no. It does compromise your position as an educator. Your job depends rather strongly on your ability to impart unbiased truth. By using educational space for commercial purposes, you're telling children my words can be bought. Also, my son is having some trouble getting the Eat It Icy Free stickers out of his fur.
Ow.
Look, I'm sorry you object to in-school advertising, Mr. Llewellyn. But it's the American way. If you don't like it, you're free to, I don't know, secede or something.
I don't know what you said to him, but keep in mind I have to live with it.
Hee.
Ozzy, do you think there's a God?
I dunno. That's always such a big question. I'm not sure how to answer it.
You must have some idea what you think.
Well, look at it this way. I'm 10 years old. And even if I weren't, the intellect of any creature on this tiny blue speck of dust is very finite. Doesn't it seem like it'd be an act of arrogance to claim to really know the nature of the universe and,
I thought the packet was full of poor conditioning exfoliant. But it turned out to be green Kool-Aid.
I will grant you some things are suspiciously perfect.
Yeah, I like the universe's sense of humor the 5% of the time the joke isn't on me. You mean your house is now a separate country?
According to my dad, yes.
That seems kind of unnecessary. I mean, we already live in the United States. The blueprint for democracy the world over. How's your dad going to improve on that?
No Temptation Island.
Bye, Mom. I'm moving.
Not to be difficult, here, Dad, but if we as a household are, seceding, aren't there some political realities to be dealt with?
Well, naturally. However, I've put my ambassador to work on it.
Ambassador?
Well, actually, I'm sort of a temp, Mr. President.
Oh, well, That's an easier word to say.
Mr. President, my name is Isolda. I'm the ambassador from Greater Luland.
From where? I mean, I've, heard of it and all.
You have? I mean, it's...
I'm the president, and presidents have heard of places. Here, I'll use my famous charm on you. Now, let's see, nicknames.
Mr. President, it doesn't.
Big Isolda? Little Isolda? Little Miss Scaly Britches? No, let's see. Izzy Green Queen Scaly, Bottom Fancy Pants. This is usually easier.
Please shut up, Mr. President.
Isolda, Isolda Boy Isolda, Banana Fana Fofa Isolda.
And after all that, the president still said he'd recognize us?
More or less. Basically, he said he'd ignore us completely due to our lack of oil or cheap labor.
Sounds like it was a pretty successful trip.
I'll say. I'm planning to go back next month and hit some more lobbyists with my tail.
Well, so now it's official. Greater Luland is now an oasis from all that exists outside. A surreal escape from that other surreality that is reality.
What was it before?
It's a formality, really. Are you actually serious about all this secession stuff, Dad?
To the extent that I am ever serious.
That's kind of enigmatic.
Well, son, if there's ever a point to anything, it's that there's value in creating for yourself a position from which to more objectively view reality.
I'm actually not sure I'd recognize if I saw it.
All things in time, son.
Mom. What is it, Millie? I had a bad dream. And now I don't want to go back to sleep. Oh, honey, I'm sorry. You had a nightmare? No, I had a dream that was incredibly boring. I was just standing there. If I can't count on being entertained by my own brain while I'm asleep, there's not much point, is there? So can I go downstairs and watch TV? I don't know what she's complaining about. That has to have made her night less boring. Millicent XJ34, last of her kind, from a really, really distant star and all that. Surveys the scene on this, the strangest of strange worlds. In an endless quest to find an intelligent life.
Oh, hi. I'm using these cardboard cutouts of myself to start a musical boy band.
I like to pick easy quests. A boy band? You?
Don't act so surprised. It's not like it requires any musical ability, or originality or talent, or looks, or technical skill, or grace, or, you can feel free to interrupt me anytime.
Why? You're doing my work for me.
What's the matter, Avery? I've hit a snag. A snag. Cardboard cutouts can't sing. These goes the founding principle of the Grammys. Again I trust TV and wind up feeling used.
Pew. Pew. Pew.
So I guess this sort of puts a dent in your plans. Hardly. It's clear that to be really successful as a boy band, I need some boys. So who are? Granted, you don't make an ideal Happy Meal box image, but I suppose marketing could work on you. Why does the possibility of my saying no never even come up? I suppose you're all wondering why I've gathered you here today. Sort of, yeah. We, my fortunate friends, are going to be the next boy band sensation. Millie. You're here because you're the only girl I could find as a test audience. I've worked it all out, the look, the tie-ins, the works. What about music? Look, this early I can see any point in dwelling on details. Yo, wazoo up. The enormous pants boys into house. Boy why. Kick it. Well, I have no idea what you just told me to do. But I'm fairly sure it's beneath my dignity. Look, if dignity were cool, Jimmy Carter would have groupies.
Millicent XJ34 hurriedly sets her phaser on mute.
Ooh, what a pretty flower.
Well, like, this Marcel Proust book has totally changed my perspective on existence.
All right, son, now stick that apple in your mouth and then baste yourself.
Bite me. Oh, and I suppose you jump off a bridge if it were cool.
Our legal department did clear this. Happy April 1st, everybody.